Hey folks, welcome to another TWiP Pro Photo Critique. This is critique number 68. This is TWiP. Hey, welcome back to another TWiP Pro Photo Critique. I am your host, Frederick Van Johnson, here once again with my partner in crime, Mr. Troy Miller, to talk about the latest submissions to the TWiP Pro Photo community. Troy, what's going on, man? You have a good weekend?
Yeah, it's been good. I've been staying busy. I just finished watching the Apple keynote, so my head's kind of swimming with all that info. So,
oh yeah, what are you doing? You moving money around to buy that new Mac Pro and the stand, the $1,000 stand for their display?
Yeah, I'm just gonna get the stand and set it over here. You know,
yeah,
and
just
be like,
look at it and wish. Yeah. Put a cardboard frame around it. You'd be like, hey, it looks like reality.
You know what? I could weld a new stand. That's not a problem. I'll make stands for anybody that needs them for like $250, and it'll be like, it'll be total grungy looking too. So it'll fit the theme of
your Mad Max stand by Troy Miller.
All rebar and
exactly. Man, that was an interesting keynote though. Towards the end there, I was like nodding off when they were getting into developer stuff, and I think they lost me at that game thing. Whenever they throw the games in there, the Minecraft stuff, they lose me at that. I'm like, yeah, okay, because those just seem to go too long and they're painful. I'm like, okay, we get it. Okay, it's cool. We get it. And no more VR on stage until we have it. I'm tired of seeing it. Give it to us. So
right.
I think I'm just bitter because of that display and that Mac Pro pricing. I was adding that up. I'm like, okay, so we're looking at about 15, probably scratching 17, 18 grand. Maybe 20 plus if you want to put a good amount of RAM in that thing. And depending on your cards and all that, it's not going to be cheap for...
No,
so
but
it's not for us. That thing,
no, they're not.
We're iMac us. People, I think. So.
But I mean, if you shoot with a red camera, what do those things cost? 100 plus grand? I mean, I don't even know.
Well, that's what I mean. It's for those people that are in Hollywood or doing that production level work. Musicians that are, that will just giggle at that amount of money. But for humans like us, mere mortals. It's we're in the iMac world, I think. So.
Yeah, I don't need that to process wedding photos. I would like to have it, but
you don't have to work. Yeah, how many weddings would you have to do to
all of them?
Exactly. If people were like, you know what, honey, our daughter can go to community college because I need this Mac Pro. So
that's right. That's
just sour grapes, because I would get that thing if I could afford it, but there's no way that I would go into debt for that computer. When this one's doing just fine. This one right here is doing just fine.
Yeah, you're not streaming or processing 8K. So when you do,
yeah, 1,000 streams of audio and Logic. Yeah, I don't need that yet.
Not yet.
Maybe 3 at most. So. All right, you ready to do this? You want to dive into the critique?
Yeah, let's do it. Yeah, let's do it.
So the first one up, it looks like, is Tim Engel. So Tim Engel submitted this one. What did he say? Did he have any captions? No, mud and makeup. Tim never has a caption. He's very literal, too.
Yeah.
Girl, mud, makeup.
Yeah, this is really cool. I mean, initially I looked at it and I thought, man, I wish she hadn't cut her face off, but the more that I look at it, I feel like it's sort of like this pensive, peaking look, and the tight crop gives it a sense of discomfort, maybe, or tension, and I like that with the those brilliant blue eyes and the red lips, and then the mud, just the mud.
Yeah. Yeah, I look at the shot. I wonder, you put on your what's it for hat, and I'm thinking, this is not fashion? Obviously, there's no clothes or anything in the shot. This is pure art then, and if it's pure art, this is artistic. This is Tim Engel expressing his artistry and message. What's the message of this shot, or is there a message? Or is it this is a beautiful girl and covered in mud, so she's ugly everywhere else except her face. Beauty's only skin deep. I don't know. What does it mean?
I don't know. I don't know. And the cool thing is that, we don't have to try. I mean, I think that it comes across brilliantly. This could be, a commercial shot for, lip makeup or lipstick or something. There's plenty of room for copy or something. For sure. It's definitely high fashion. My only nit would be to clean up the hair that's hanging below her left ear.
Oh, right. And I'm going to argue with you. Yes, I agree with the hair below her left ear, but this is not fashion, because fashion, Tim, correct me if I'm wrong, fashion involves clothing. Unless the kids are wearing mud these days, I don't know. I'm not kind of out of touch, but I don't know what these millennials will do. I haven't seen anybody running around with saggy pants and mud on. So. Well,
I don't know. Not being a fashion photographer, that's a fair criticism. Like, I probably used the word inappropriately. Yes. So, Tim, you have to school us on.
Yeah, on Tim, you are the fashion dude. Please school us. Is this fashion or is this art? Well, both are art, but you know what we mean. All right, cool. Let's dive into the next one. You ready?
Moving on. Yep.
Next one's from Mike Doran. Mike says, this image was created during a workshop with Bill Lemon several weeks ago. I learned a lot about my Olympus EM1X while using studio lighting. The car is a Cobra and the model is Sarah. And Mike Doran, look at that.
Nice.
Not a race car. This is
more human, less car. That's good.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, it's not a Sonoma. This might be at Sonoma, but I don't think so. This is cool. What a cool. And this is definitely fits the criterion of model.
And fashion.
Sorry, eyes. I meant eyes. I'm looking at the model's eyes. She keeps staring at me for some reason.
No, this is very cool. This is very cool. I love the perspective of the car and the angle of the model and the position of the hands and everything. It's really nice.
Yeah.
Looking at this, I just wish there was more light on her face and less, at her waist, her hand on her lap, and her right elbow are the brightest points. I wish those were, a little dodging and burning could change that. But
yeah,
I really dig it. Way to go, Mike.
Yeah, that's really cool. Mike has range with that Olympus, no doubt.
Yeah. Oh, I love the seat belts that are in there. Those racing belts are the best.
Oh, where? Oh, those. Yeah, I see those now. Okay.
Yeah, I have those in my truck.
Well, of course you do.
They're awesome. People get in my truck and they don't know how to do the seatbelts.
Of course, yeah. All right, Armando Brooks up next. He says, had a great time living in India for 4 years and always loved to show happy face. Thank you, incredible India. This was taken on January 26th, India Republic Day Parade. Let's take a look. Look at those eyes.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. What an amazing capture too, because it's right. I mean, she's looking right at you, Armando. So what a good job. That is awesome. She's so cute.
Yeah, that is really cool. With everyone else in the photo back turned, one subject looking right at you. That is really cool.
Yeah, I'm cropping it with my hand. I think you could crop the gentleman out on the right. Like, I think if you cropped a nice vertical portrait of just her, leaving the shoulder, maybe a little bit of, we'll call that dad's head or something, I think it would be better, because then it would really draw us into her face.
Yeah, I agree. I would crop into dad a little bit, right? Because you don't really need all of him in there, or grandpa, whoever that is. You don't need all of them in there to get the message, and it would draw attention more directly into her.
Yep.
So yep, I agree. Very nice. Shot. Love the colors.
And the colors are really nice too. Armando didn't push those super hard like he likes to do.
Yeah. I wonder how he convinced the dad there to color coordinate the yellow in his shirt with that bus in the background. And the greens. That was really good. Cool shot though. Very cool. All right. Next shot is from William Banach. And William says, the eyes have it. More appropriately, it has my eye. I've been photographing damselflies for a few years now. I've seen my fair share of territorial air defenses. It ends with the dominant damsel chasing the intruder off and returning to its perch. However, in this case, the intruder was snagged midair by the larger defender and hauled off for a meal. It was a struggle for the victor to lift the prey up to a nearby plant. I quickly honed in, drew focus, and fired off a shot. I feel quite fortunate to have captured a decent image as there was a slight breeze swaying the leaf. Ugh, look at this. Yeah, when I first looked at the shot, I was like, oh no, that's a cool fly or whatever that is. And then I noticed that there was another one that was being consumed. I was like, come on, man. Jeez. Have you no sense of self-decency, damselfly?
No, they don't. No, they're just they're very territorial. So
yeah.
I love the fact that it's a blue and a red.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, and then the depth of field. I mean, being able to focus on something and have that shallow depth of field, that's amazing. This is a stunning image.
It is. It is very good. Yeah, and the blue and the red is yeah. What a stroke of good luck. I wonder if there's any political undertones in here with
This is what I think of your $9.99 monitor stand.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. This could be our poster child for the overpriced monitor stand.
Oh, that's awesome. That's
love
awesome.
It. Good job.
Yeah, I love it.
Good job, Mr. Banach. Good job. Once again, James Glenies up next. He says, the last thing the bird sees. Yep, that's it right there. As the
I love
cat
that title.
Puts the bird to sleep with his hypnotic tail. Does your cat do that when he's chasing things, like try to hypnotize things with his tail?
Oh yeah. Yeah. I got a couple cats, so they all have different personalities, but yeah, so this is great. Like this, she's just checking you out, waiting to attack.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I like that the box is masking part of her face, and very cool.
Yeah, I love cats. Cats rock. All right. Very cool shot. Love that. Love the black and white on that one, too. All right. Next up is Tanja DePrinz. Hello, Tanja. Tanja says, my beautiful teenage son, a rare occasion to get him to pose for me, not only because it was a picture from my exhibition, although my skating drummer boy tries to play it cool, the eyes kind of give away his vulnerability and insecurity. I cherish this particular moment I got to share with him. Let's take a look.
Oh, cool. Very nice portrait. Yeah, that's cool.
Yep.
It's hard photographing and doing portraits of people that we know, right? Because they feel more comfortable or more uncomfortable than a stranger sometimes. Because a stranger, there's like this barrier, and they'll give you so much time, but like family tends to be tough. So good job.
Yeah, especially people. It's particularly hard to shoot people that don't think they look good on camera or haven't been photographed that much. Right. So, which you do on a weekly basis. Right. So,
yeah, a lot of times it's their insecurity, right? Like they've seen themselves in a light that they don't particularly care for. So they think that that's how all their photos are going to be. So when you show them it doesn't look like that, then you can win their trust.
Yeah. You disarm them. Yeah. Yeah. Give them a sense of confidence that you're not going to make them look bad in the show.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm thinking what he's thinking at this right moment right now is pizza.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm posing, I get pizza.
Yeah. Or mom, can you please press the button?
Yeah, I dig it though. Good shot.
Yep.
Good shot. I love the angle in the frame.
And those eyes, the eyes definitely have it in that shot.
Yeah, treatment's really nice too.
All right, Thomas Aaron's up next. Thomas says, an old soul. Where is this at? Yeah, an old soul. I captured this image of Rutger the boxer's contemplative look. He's a young dog, but kind of an old soul. Hope you enjoy Processed with Affinity. Yeah, let's take a look. Yeah, he looks contemplative. He looks like a federal judge or something.
Yeah, it is. It is very good.
He's a federal judge, and everybody's guilty, no matter what.
Yeah, boxers are cool. They're cool dogs. Yeah, I really dig this one. I'm some of the dodging and burning going on at the top of his head and on the dog's back is a little extreme. The highlights have been pulled down a little too much. They're getting muddy. Yeah. But other than that, I like the black and white treatment on this a lot. I think if it was color, the sun would be distracting.
Mm-hmm. So. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I definitely saw those muddy areas in there. So yeah, how would you fix those? Just back off on it? He did this in Affinity, so I'm wondering what his process was for doing this in Affinity. I'm still brand new to Affinity as well.
Yeah, I'm guessing that he probably did, layer masking and then used the Affinity's raw editor, the raw persona to go in and bring those down. It's really hard when you do it in post like that because, I shouldn't say in post because Affinity still pulls off the raw file. So they're just too far, really. I mean, you've got to be careful that they don't get muddy. So keep some contrast in there.
Yeah. Yep. Speaking of Affinity, the company that makes Affinity is Serif, right?
Serif, right.
They were. Did you spy their name on stage in the Apple keynote today?
No, I didn't see that.
When they were doing all the logos up there for the Mac Pro, one of the companies up there with Adobe, no less, was Serif, right next to one over from Adobe.
Nice.
Yeah, so that's always good to see.
Yeah, because Affinity's getting a lot of attention, so I'm sure that's helping.
Yeah, totally. All right, Alicia's up next. Alicia says, this was the very first shot of very few times I've ever photographed a baby. The father's hand pushed the baby's right eyeball into the center corner, making it very crossed. I basically masked a copy of the left eye over top of it. Oh, interesting. To make it even. I looked everywhere for the original copy of this image to show in the comments, but it's long gone. Wow. So that second eye, the eye on the bottom, is a copy of the one on the top. Okay. I never would have known had she not mentioned that.
Yeah, I mean, there are some telltale signs in that, the reflections are exactly the same, the highlight is exactly the same, and they're always slightly different in the eyes. So if you ever mask an eye, just change the reflections a little bit, like just clone out a little bit of this highlight, move it, just little things. But it's extremely well done. And I really wouldn't even have known had she not mentioned it. So that's a good job. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I hear you. Yeah. Because the light is different, on two different reflective spheres. So yeah, but we know that now because that she told us that no one whoever was looking at this or anybody viewing this image would never have known that there's any sort of manipulation done to it. So excellent job. Bravo.
Yeah. And the toning is beautiful. I would say on the baby's left shoulder by mom's hand, it's a little too bright. Bring that down a little bit so the mask of the face shows up. But yeah, it's really good. And it's really hard to get babies to look at you when you want. They look wherever they want to look. Yeah.
Of course. Yeah. And good job capturing that spit bubble too. That's very good.
Yeah. Gotta have those.
Gotta get the spit bubble in there. All right. Eric Pronsky's up next. And Eric says, the red-eyed tree frog image taken on a recent trip to Costa Rica. These guys mainly roam around at night. Our guide was an expert on finding it. We illuminated the frog with LED flashlights as it was considered unethical to use a strobe flash. When hiking around Costa Rica, I would always recommend a guide. They aren't expensive. They carry high-powered spotting scopes and always seem to know how to find the wildlife for a better experience. All right, let's take a look. Yeah, that's sharp. That's interesting. I didn't know that that firing strobes. I can obviously understand it. It's going to shock them and probably PTSD the dang thing. But I didn't know that it was considered cruel to use a strobe.
Yes. I haven't photographed tree frogs, but I do know that.
You need to get down to Costa Rica. There's lots of wildlife down there that wants to meet you.
Yeah, and these things are tiny too. These things are not very big. So these things
those are like he could sit on the tip of your finger, right?
Yeah, they're pretty small.
Some are poisonous. Well, no, the green ones I don't believe are poisonous, but the black and red ones, they probably want to stay away from those, I think. Or anything red in nature is probably not a good idea to hang around unless it's a rose. Even then,
I just stay out of nature. That's it. I'm safe that way.
Troy Miller, I have a newsflash for you. You are nature, my friend. So. It's like a fish saying, you know what? I don't dig this water thing.
Right.
Very cool shot. I like this shot a lot, though. This is really cool. I wish he was moving. I feel like I wish he was moving up, though. you know, instead of like, like it's subjective, but I feel like I want him to be holding on with gravity pulling on him, you know, from the back versus going, you know, going down.
Sliding down the thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and some dodging and burning would help a lot in this image too, because the back hind legs and the hind quarter of the body is very bright, you know, and that's obviously where the light is, so it's coming in from that direction. So just burn all that down, bring that down a lot, so that the focus is on the eye.
Yeah. Yep. Very nice. All right, Mr. Pronsky, thank you very much. All right, Steve Vantak is up next, and Steve says, here's one for the Eyes Have It photo critique. All right. Look at that. There's 4 eyes in here. Nice.
Yeah, 4 eyes. Yeah. I like that artwork on the wall. I like your shoes too.
I was going to say, did you notice, what are those, Converse in there?
Yeah, probably Converse in there.
That is so cool because she's beautiful and she's elegant all the way down, and just right underneath you get a hint of her actual personality, right?
Yeah, I love it. This is such a cool place to do a shot like this, and I like the pose of the bride. I mean, I would have pointed the right toe at me and relaxed the hips a little bit, but I mean, having what we have here, it's super nice. The only critique that I have is the white of the eyes has been overworked, in my opinion. I mean, nobody has eyes that are that white. And it's right up to the pupil or the iris, you know, and so you just got to really watch how much you push the white of the eyes.
Yeah, same with teeth, right? You could easily overdo teeth. Not everyone's teeth, some people are, but not everyone's teeth are completely devoid of any sort of coloring in there. So, except for Troy Miller's, right?
Right. That's not possible. I drink too much iced tea.
There you go. At least you're not smoking. All right. Lamb's up next. Lamb says, unlike most of his peers still reading newspaper, the old man has proven that age is no barrier in learning to use technological devices for getting the latest news and social activities. Theme, the Eyes Have It. Title, Never Left Behind. Oh, wow. Yeah. Maybe time to get a new prescription on those readers there. You're living a lie, man. You need...
Yeah, he needs a bigger phone too,
and a bigger phone. Yeah.
This doesn't really have a lot of eyes in it, but I get the reference. I do love the photojournalistic quality of this and the depth of the image. Like, there's just so much stuff going on in this image. I just love these. This is very cool. Very cool.
It takes you in, like, looking at these kind of shots. It takes you into this person's world, right? Because he's sat in that spot a gazillion times. There's stories behind those milk bottles hanging in the background there. Yeah. You know, this shop is kind of disheveled. You know, there's some story here. I wonder what it is. It makes you wonder what's going on. And this guy's, you know, failing eyesight and refusal to buy new readers, you know.
And look at his forehead. I mean, he's intently trying to do that.
Is that an A or a V? I don't know.
$9.99 for the stand?
That's exactly that's the caption for this one. Wait a minute. Did they get the decimal point wrong? You know? Surely they meant $99. Oh, I'm not gonna let that go. No way.
No, let that go. That's all day.
Oh my God, no, that's good. Wait till the Apple rags get a hold of that thing. They're gonna clown Apple to no end. This is from Wayne Johns. What's up, Wayne? Wayne says, my pooch, Ernie the Wonder Dog, after a long day being photographed in the studio for an ad campaign for Next Clothing. I think this was him telling me he'd done enough for the day. LOL. He walked off set to a big leather beanbag, curled up, and gave me this look. Yeah, look at that.
I'm done.
Yeah, he's like, one more shot, human, and you die in your sleep.
Oh, man. Oh, this is great. This is really great. I love the story in this. This is awesome.
Yeah, no, this is really cool. I love this. Wayne Johns too. I think he just snapped this. I wonder what Wayne Johns. I know you're listening to this. What'd you snap this with? Was it that 100 megapixel GFX?
No, he wrote it in there. It says a Hasselblad H3.
Oh, did he? Oh, yeah, there it is. Hasselblad H3 right there. All right. Well, I want to see shots from that Fuji. Anyway.
Very cool.
All right, coming up next, Mark Harris. And Mark says, sometimes the eyes are just tired, made with my iPhone 7 Plus, while Troy, the cat, sleeps next to me. Our two cats are endless subjects for photographs. Oh, yeah. Look at that.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I can't believe $9.99.
No, this is during the Minecraft demo.
Oh. Okay, that's better.
Yeah. Like, come on, please let it be over.
Oh my gosh, this is a great shot, though. I love it. I love it.
See, this is how can you not love cats? Look at that. Cats have so much personality. Yeah, Thomas Aaron is over there like, oh, cats.
He only likes dogs so he can train them. You can't train the cats as well.
No, cats train humans. That's what. I like my food like this, or I'm not going to eat it.
I want it over here today, but tomorrow I'm going to want it over there.
Exactly. And please put some black clothes on the bed so I can lay on them. Yeah, very cool. Yeah, and this goes to show that, iPhones, right? This is an iPhone shot. So, yeah, you can still get good shots. I see some pixelation around the edge there. And it didn't quite handle the this is probably really dark where this cat was, or at least not well illuminated. So iPhones, at least that's a 7 Plus he said he shot this with. So back then, they're better now. Back then they did have trouble with the high dynamic range shots.
Right. But Troy looks good either way.
Yep. You need a beanie for that cat. All right. Michael DeRay's up next. Michael says, Dirty-Faced Eyes of Wonder. All right.
Well, that's a good title.
Uh-huh. Look at that. That's a future leader right there.
Right. What was he focused on, right? Like he's intently focused on something. I dig that. A little bit, it feels a little bit dark. I don't know if maybe that's mighty. Maybe bring the exposure up on the mask of the face just a little bit. But
I don't know if it's exposure more than like clarity or contrast or something. I don't know. Maybe you're right.
Yeah.
I thought you'd love this because it has a border on it.
I do. Oh, I love those presentations, and I love all the black and whites. But the one thing you can tell that some of the mid tones are compressed is because you got like this little highlight in the upper left on the hat. Well, that's almost white, but like the white of the eyes should be brighter, right? Mm-hmm. That's the mid tone contrast.
Oh, right.
Definitely. And notice like in the two eyes, notice how the catch lights are different. That's just the way the eyes work. One's out of focus, so it's going to be a little bit fuzzier, but slightly different locations.
Very nice. All right. The Dirty-Faced Eyes of Wonder.
Good titles, man.
Mm-hmm. Next up is Stephen Scharf. And Stephen says, Brittany Force's eyes show her concentration just before a run at her NHRA Top Fuel dragster at Sonoma Nationals. I'm feeling compelled to go to Sonoma now. I keep hearing the name so much. I haven't heard the word Sonoma, this many times in like a decade. Now I hear it all the time. It's beckoning me to go to Sonoma. I think we need to go there.
Yes, I want to go. I'll drive up.
Yeah, right? We know people.
Go. Let's do it.
Yeah. Raise your hands if you're interested in meeting up at Sonoma Raceway and, doing some shots. If Stephen Scharf and Mike Doran can pull strings to get us in.
Right. Yeah, this is very cool. This is really neat. I love the tight crop, the leading lines. This is one of those images that there's a lot of color that happens with all those stickers and everything. So it probably looks pretty cool in color, but I think that to be able to see her face in there, the black and white really draws us in to the mask of her face.
Yeah, I like it.
Very well done.
Yeah, did you see my caption or my comment?
Yeah.
If you haven't seen my comment,
in this.
Yeah, TWiP Pro members, if you haven't seen the comment, you got to read my comment in there. I was trying to be funny
before this thing.
Yeah, exactly. Did anybody think about that? All right, Freddie Sadhanas up next. Thank you, Stephen Sharf. Very nice. If looks could kill. You know, I saw this, and this scared me. It still scared me looking at it right now. This is scary. I don't know what it is about it. Is it the lighting in the eyes? Is it her expression? Is it that it's on black? I don't know. But this reminds me of like you don't want to wake up with her looking at you like with a knife or something. You know?
Right.
But then again, it has a Marilyn Monroe-esque feel to it as well, and a kind of an old school 40s, 50s kind of look to it as well. I don't know. I'm curious to know what you think of this.
I mean, I really like it initially. I mean, it was one of those, when you see the thumbnails, you're like, oh, this is going to be a good one, you know? Mm-hmm. And I mean, I just love the intent, the slight tilt of the head, the little partial smile. Really a big fan of all that. Yeah, it's really nice. We've got, I'm looking at the eyes, and the thing I'm trying to figure out is, was it intentional to only brighten the whites of the outside of the eye, or what? Because notice the inside of the eyes are not, they're very, very dark. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I don't know what's going on there. It seems a little weird. Yeah. But that could be on purpose to give her that sort of intense look, which I don't dislike it. I like it.
Yeah. 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 Very good. I mean, and it definitely fits into the category of eyes, because my eyes go directly to hers and then to mm-hmm. her grin. And then I get uncomfortable. I'm like, why are you looking at me like that? What are you smiling about, lady?
Perfect.
Uh-huh. Welcome. That's just, we should have caption contests for these images. That'd be great. What is she thinking, and what did she say?
Yeah, and he shot it with a 90 millimeter, so that's the macro.
Ah.
Yeah, it's a good portrait lens too.
All right, thank you, Mr. Sedano. And up next is Peter Levshin. I've heard of that guy. Peter shot this with his Canon 5D3. Let's take a look.
Yeah.
This is on Peter's travels.
Yes, one of his many travels. There's always lots of kids around.
Mm-hmm. Look at those eyes, though. This is definitely an eye shot. Those eyes are bigger than his whole head.
They are, yes. Very intent. I love this, his hand, like he's leaning. Looks like he's leaning like in a window or something.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yep, looking just over Peter's shoulder.
Yes, that's true. Yeah, see no eye contact.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, just slightly off, slightly. You think it would have been better with direct eye contact, or is it good like this? Because this is almost like, is he looking at me, or is he not looking at me? Is he looking at my ear? What's he looking at?
I feel that's with this one. I think it's good. The way the image is presented, that he's not looking at the camera, because it feels a little pensive and quiet and innocent and a little distant, which fits the theme, and fits the mood and this kid. I kind of know what that white stuff is on their face, but I'll let Peter elaborate in the chat.
Yeah, Peter, please do. I'm wondering what that is. And we keep saying he. We don't know if this is a he or not, because I see a piercing on the ear.
Oh, you're right. Yeah.
Yeah. So this, I'm not sure. You can never tell. So let's say they. So, I think that's the politically correct thing to do. Yeah, Peter. So sound off and let us know what that face paint is. All right. Next up is Craig Stamfley. Craig says, getting in early for the next critique. Unlike Tim Engel, who just made it under the radar. This is Bella in a fogged up phone booth. Let's take a look. Wow, look at that. You got those eyes, too.
Yeah, that is very cool. Super sharp. What was she doing in a fogged up phone booth? That's kind of what I want to know.
Yeah.
So many stories.
Make up your own story. Make up your own story.
She was obviously looking at Craig.
Yep. Yeah, her hands pressed against the glass as well. See?
Yes. Yeah, that's very cool. I love how both eyes are in focus. So, there's no twist in her head or anything like that to kind of throw that off. So really like that.
Mm-hmm.
Just looking at the whole overall image. There's a Must be on the glass, like by her mouth on the right. It looks like the fog was wiped or something. So I was trying to figure out what that was, because you can see through the window, so it got sharp there a little bit.
Yeah, it looks like a glass that maybe somebody vandalized and then they cleaned it up with some stuff that left the glass less than clear in certain areas.
Right. No, this is really cool. I love the. It feels like a little bit wider angle lens. So we're pushing into the subject a little bit, so we're a little closer to our subject's face.
Yeah,
I like that. It's a good perspective.
Yep. Very nice. And no comments on cutting off the top of her head?
The only thing that bothers me is her thumb just appearing out of nowhere. Like, I wish that it was like more hands in the shot, like she was pushing against the glass with both hands, or no hand.
And that's a pretty easy clone job over there too.
Yeah.
Extending that greenish area down and the white grayish area down to just basically repeating those pixels, right?
Right. And then, you know, the crop at the top isn't so offensive to me because it's a hat. And, you know, basically the face stops at the brim of the hat. So to crop off the top of the hat doesn't seem like you're truncating somebody's, you know, body. But even that, you know, you crop in tight for tension. And for this, it's really about the mask of her face and the eyes. So, you know, we can crop the top of her head.
Yeah. Very nice. I like the shot, though.
I do. I dig it. The colors in the background, the soft pastel colors, nice.
Yep. All right. Moving right along. The next shot is, and the last shot is from Peter Lyons. And Peter says, I'm a professional photographer, but portraits are not my specialty, nor do I tend toward heavy-handed edits like this. This was a straight-up portrait of my son, but I'm especially fond of the way this black and white conversion in Silver Effects Pro turned out using the pinhole filter. Yes, I cringe to admit I used a filter to create an effect I failed to create myself, but, well, there it is.
There's nothing wrong with that.
No need to apologize. Let's bring this up.
Nope. It was a look that you went for, so that's very cool.
There it is. Yeah,
there it is.
Bringing it up. Yep, there it is. Okay. Yeah, I mean, there's nothing wrong with using. It's means to an end, right? Purists, people that are purists about, don't use filters or you're not a real photographer. Don't use this or you're not a real photographer. Always shoot in manual or you're not a real photographer. Just be quiet. You know, people can shoot and process images however they see fit to get to their image in their mind's eye. Who cares how they got there?
Yeah, that was one of the big rubs for me at WPPI. There were several instructors that were up there and said, you know, if you're not shooting in manual, you're not a professional.
No.
And I'm like, what? What are you saying?
Yeah. If you have a car and you don't drive a manual stick shift, then you're not a real driver.
There's no absolutes. Yeah, there's no absolutes. So
yeah.
This is very cool. This is definitely one of my favorites in the selection. I mean, just that sort of old school film look. The right eye is in focus. Normally we see the left eye in focus, right? But because it's darker there, we're really drawn into that right eye, which I love.
Yeah.
I kind of wish there was a little bit more detail around the nose. I'm okay with the highlights being overexposed in this style of shot to make the eyes pop out, but I wish the nose didn't disappear into that highlight. Now, maybe that's just because we're seeing it on the web.
Yeah, maybe just a tad more detail in there, or grain even in there would have helped out. What I was going to say, I was going to add to that. I agree with that. I was going to add that the shadow at the bottom, I wish I could. I like the fact that he's vignetting around and draw your attention into the subject's eyes, his son's eyes. But I'd want to see just a little bit more of what he's wearing, so I know what that piece of clothing is on the left of his cheek or the right side of his cheek. Just a little bit more hint of detail in there, so I can kind of know, oh, this was a turtleneck this kid was wearing. You know, otherwise it's just sort of a piece of fabric hanging out there and coming out of that black hole down below.
Right. And it's the other point of focus, because it's probably in the same plane as the eye. Even the mouth is forward, so it's not gonna be as in focus. So yeah, that was my other thing, is just take that out. Even just, you know, clone it out, blur it out.
Yeah.
could really help a lot. This is actually a really nice portrait. I don't know why, but it really makes me feel like this is like an 80s 80s band type portrait of the lead singer or something, like a Duran Duran or
totally
Flock Seagulls, or you know what I mean? It's like, it just has that vibe.
Yeah, he's got that David Bowie look going on.
The David Bowie look, yeah.
Very cool. Nice shot though. And thanks, Peter, for submitting. Peter's a real estate photographer here in Northern California. So he's definitely playing outside of his comfort zone, as he said. And I believe that's it.
I think so.
Yeah, that's it. All right, we got to pick one for our favorite. And since this was this topic was your pick, Troy Miller, I'm gonna let you do the honors, or have the honors of picking the favorite shot. What's your favorite shot?
Well, it's a struggle because there's so many good ones in there, but I go back to Tim Ingles, Mud and Makeup, and it's a little bit out of my favorite zone, if you will, because of the way he cropped her head and everything. But at the same time, I dig the creativity that's in there. I love her eyes. I like the tension, the pensiveness that's going on in there.
Yeah.
So the more that I look at it, it's one of my favorite Tim shots that I've seen of his. Yeah.
Yeah. See, he has a series of these, so these are nice. He's Tim. You should share the link to your portfolio where you have the series of these mud shots, because he's done a really nice series of this particular look on people. And Tim, I also want to know what the story is that is in your head. Was there any story? Which, it doesn't necessarily have to have a story if it's just art, right? You're just creating for the sake of a creative release. But I'm curious if there was a story behind this with the mud and the pretty girl and the sort of muted makeup and all that.
Right. And I want to know how you figured out what mud was going to work.
Yeah, that's true. That is true. I don't know. Maybe it came from like a beauty supply house. That may be that therapeutic sort of mud pack mud. Who knows?
Oh yeah, that could work. Yeah. I'm thinking clay. I'm like, I got tons of clay that would look like that.
Yeah, but you don't want to be breaking out your models. Right? It's like,
this is true.
My entire body is red except my face. Oh, cool, man. All right. Well, there we go. That's it. Any parting shots or parting thoughts for this critique?
No, this was great. I just realized that we don't have a theme for the next one, right?
I got one.
Oh, good.
I got one. I did my homework this time. Oh, yeah.
Normally in the green room, we've already talked about that. I was like, oh, crap. As we're going through, I'm like, oh, what should be next? So good.
Yeah, I got one. Very simple. The next one is love.
Oh.
Wait, let me do that again. Let me do it on full screen.
No hands.
We'll use that for the thumbnail.
No,
Look at that. There you go. There's our thumbnail for this one.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So the next one will be love. We'll title
That'll be a good one.
Yeah. So however you want to interpret it, you know the deal. However you want to interpret love. I know Troy's probably going to submit an image. It's going to be that Mac Pro stand. Or Minecraft or something.
No Minecraft. But
no Minecraft. Oh yeah, by the way, this is complete non sequitur. We can end on this. I texted you the other day that I bought the Nintendo Switch, little game console that you can dock and it goes on the TV and all that. I'm such a nerd. I love that game, man. I love the system. And I also have an Xbox and the PlayStation as well. But that one is just killer for several reasons. But the game that I'm playing on it right now is Doom.
Yeah.
You remember Doom? Doom. Yeah, it is so therapeutic. It is so therapeutic. But here's the bad thing. You realize that you're getting older. I can't play my Nintendo Switch without these on because I can't. Monsters kill me every time I put these on. I'm badass, but without these, I'm cannon fodder or demon food in that game.
Right.
So, well, cool, man. All right, so that's it for this one. I guess, yeah. So the next week's topic is love, and we'll go from there. Cool.
That'll be good. I look forward to that one. That'll be nice.
All right, cool. All right, Troy Miller, thanks a lot for your assistance on this one. Get online and go put your pre-order in for the $25,000 Mac Pro because you need that.
I don't. No.
You don't need that's like what, 10, 15 grand away from a Tesla, right?
Yeah. Oh, the truck. I'm getting the truck, the Tesla truck.
Have you seen that? I haven't seen it. I thought this was still a rumor.
They haven't showed it, but he talked about it. Elon talked about it again. Like he wants it to start sub 50,000 and yeah.
You're not getting that. You're not getting that. You're like, dude, you're used to build cars. Come on. You're not going to get it. That's a foo-foo nerd car. You're not going to get that. You're going to get the monster car that burns at 10 miles to the gallon.
I got that. I already have that.
That's in the driveway right now.
That truck. No.
It's a truck so you can carry around gas with you so you don't.
Yeah. I want a pickup truck that beats every other vehicle on the street. I love that.
Yeah.
Except for other Teslas.
That thing will have a 0 to 60 of 6 seconds or maybe 7 or something. It's going to be crazy. Like you need that hauling stuff around, but
nobody needs that. But
no.
But the towing capacity, the towing power of electric would just be phenomenal.
Because of the torque. Yeah.
That would I look forward to that.
And we're so digressing. People, you can hang up now if you don't want to. But I'm looking at cars now, and I noticed some of these crossover sport utilities have features specifically designed for people who tow things. And apparently, you've towed stuff before, right? So it takes some dexterity to be able to park in reverse something that you're towing because everything's reversed and it's like a video game. These new cars have this self-driving technology in there with rearward facing cameras where you just tell it, I want to go in that slot and press a button and it maneuvers the trailer into that spot. Tesla's going to do that. I guarantee Elon Musk is going to do some crazy stuff like that to make it irresistible to truck buyers. So,
yeah. That'd be great. That'd be great.
All right, man. I digress. We could talk like this is for the folks that are watching. This is how Troy and I always talk. So these are our non-recorded nerd conversations about technology and
it's bad.
Yeah. Well, normally there's some politics and stuff rolled in there, but we don't want to record that. So. Cool, man. All right, we'll see you next time, Troy. Love. Peace, love for the next one. Love. All right. See you later, Troy.
Do it. Bye.
Bye. This is TWiP.